The Bank of Japan's balance sheet has long since topped the size of the nation's $4.7 trillion economy. But whether officials feel ready to exit quantitative easing may hinge on a much smaller figure, $71 billion. That's how much Governor Kazuo Ueda's team racked up in losses on bond holdings in the 6 months to September, a record amount. To be sure, these are unrealized paper losses. But being 10.5 trillion yen in the red in just 182 days is nothing to dismiss. In fact, it could very well add to the reasons why QE will remain the law of the land here in Japan longer than expected. It speaks to, at the very least, the financial trauma Ueda's team must consider as it tries to wrap up 23 years of the most aggressive monetary stimulus in history. And the longest-lasting QE experiment. There's a supreme irony about where Tokyo finds itself in late 2023. In the 2000–2001 period, the BOJ pioneered the QE that central banks everywhere adopted following the 2008 global crisis. Yet officials in Washington, Frankfurt, London, Sydney and elsewhere have all since normalized interest rate policy. Japan hasn't, despite inflation hitting 40-year highs this year. Now, fast-mounting unrealized losses demonstrate the challenges and pitfalls the BOJ faces plotting an end to QE. Many think the BOJ will begin exiting by mid-2024. Yet if the BOJ is sustaining such epic losses, it will first have to assess how even a minuscule increase in 10-year yields would affect banks, corporate balance sheets, local governments, insurance companies, pension funds, endowments, universities, the postal system and the growing ranks of retirees. The BOJ holds more than half of all the central Japanese government's outstanding debt. Most of the rest are held across sectors in an economy that's had nearly a quarter century to get used to the idea that free money might never go away. It was in 1999 when the BOJ slashed rates to zero, the first group of 7 economy to do so. That, and QE, was meant to be a life support tool for a deflationary economy in the intensive care unit. QE was never intended to become a permanent feature of what was then Asia's top financial power. China now wears that crown in Asia, even as economists worry it's flirting with Japanification. Between deflation and a Chinese property sector in crisis, the echoes are clear enough. Yet the lessons from Japan's lost decades haven't been fully absorbed in Tokyo either. Prime Minister Fumio Kishida's approval ratings are in the low 20s as inflation rises faster than average wages. Kishida's proposed remedy? More fiscal stimulus and hoping that Team Ueda can be dissuaded from yanking away the proverbial punchbowl. Absent is talk of resurrecting structural reform efforts. Nearly 11 years ago, Kishida's Liberal Democratic Party returned to power with bold pledges to reduce bureaucracy, boost innovation, modernize labor markets, empower women and attract more foreign talent.